So, as all of you know, on March 16th, and this is Kiana. This is Terrell's mother, for those of you that don't know. Bravest lady, strongest lady I think I've met in a long, long time. I want to speak a little bit about the circumstances of Terrell's death. I know a lot of people here know it, but so far what we have learned on her legal team, as you all know, on March 16th of this year, almost 5 months ago, an assailant got into Kiana and Terrell's apartment, and he attacked Kiana. I'm just going to give you a real basic story about this. And Terrell was in his bedroom. A lot of the neighbors heard the screaming and heard Kiana calling for help, and they called the police. The police arrived. They had some hard time kind of finding their way into the apartment or finding which apartment it was. Finally, a neighbor directed them to the correct apartment. They went up the stairs, and I'm going to refer to the police officer who did shoot Terrell eventually as the shooter. The shooter was leading police in. It was kind of a narrow area. When they heard Kiana yelling for help, which is very clear that she was screaming and yelling for help and that he was going to kill her, the shooter kicked the door down and pulled his gun. And at the end of the hallway of about 20 feet was the assailant, and then up a little bit closer was Kiana. And the cops kind of shuffled her out of the apartment to safety. But she told them, she was adamant, as she was being taken out of the apartment, her baby, her son was back there. Please get him. And I think you repeated it a couple of times. So they were well aware there was a child back there in his bedroom. At that time, the assailant stepped into the bedroom. He grabbed Terrell. You can hear him screaming and yelling, "No, no." He walks out with Terrell, holding him with 2 knives on him, one near his throat, one near his stomach. And the shooter shot one shot that went through the top of Terrell's head into the assailant's neck and killed them both. All of this happened from the time the shooter kicked the door down. All of this happened in 16 seconds.
That's outrageous. That's outrageous.
That's not unacceptable.
Ludicrous, insane.
From the time...
Repeat that time again.
16 seconds.
Wow.
No de-escalation?
No, there was no de-escalation. There was no negotiations. And in fact, when the assailant stepped back into the hallway holding Terrell, I think it was probably only 2-3 seconds before the shooter shot. And Terrell was up close to his neck. The top of his head was up close to his neck. So
why was it a headshot?
Why? I just don't. I find it hard to believe that in the heat of that moment that he did not stop and think.
No.
I don't know what made him think he could make that shot.
He didn't shot. He's not John Wick. This ain't no movie.
Shot. Tasers.
And he was just a little boy. Just a little boy, a 4-year-old boy. And if you want to talk about innocence, that is innocence.
That's right.
Yes.
You needed protection.
So, Kiana was severely injured. She was stabbed. She was taken to the hospital, and that's where she found out that her son was dead and that the assailant was also dead. And now here we are. The Illinois State Police took over the investigation, which they do pretty much for any police shooting and killing. Now, the interesting thing is, I talked to somebody at the Illinois State Police asking them what's the progress on this investigation. It was taking a while.
Why did it take so long?
Too long. Body cam footage.
5 months?
It took almost 5. It took about 4 months. 4 months and a week. And it turns out, this is really sad. Think about this. This person I talked to, very informally, it was just an acquaintance of mine, said that they had either 6 or 7 other police shootings they were investigating in the state of Illinois. Imagine that. Think of that. You know, I don't know which ones they were. I imagine one was,
So he
well,
was put on
Sonia
the bottom of
Massey's
the stack.
just happened, so probably wasn't hers at the time.
Facts.
So,
And they lied in the beginning and
Yeah,
said
they
child
sure
is
did.
That's right.
They sure
That initial
did.
press release
lied.
traumatized both
There's a cover-up.
families.
it did traumatize. Now, what happened was the Illinois State Police turned over their investigative report to the McDonough County State's Attorney, who in turn turned it over to the Illinois State Appellate Prosecutor's Office. And it was that office. Now that is routine when a state's attorney would have a conflict because he technically represents police in court, the Macomb police. So he did the right thing by turning that over to someone else. And I talked to him about that. I said, you're not going to make this decision on your own because you represent the police here in Macomb. And you
That's
can't do
right.
this. He did. He turned it over to the appellate prosecutors. The appellate prosecutors then wrote the letter in early July. And here we are now. I was informed last week that they were not going to charge the shooter with anything.
Tell me how that was these procedures.
What was their reason?
They said in the report that he acted within the guidelines for the use
16
of
seconds. I want to see him. That's why I need to tie your shoes.
Did he have time from when the assailant exited the room with Terrell? How much time passed with his body cam people? How much time did he have time to recognize that he was holding Terrell, or did he just recognize Terrell as an adult like they do on
He
TV?
shot almost a lot.
That wouldn't have to do with rape, child.
He didn't care.
That's it. Let's just think of this.
After I explained this over that,
I was in 16 seconds.
after I explained what I said to Kiana, I told her what I thought about that decision. And it was my legal opinion that that is the wrong decision. We vehemently
That is right.
disagree with it.
Absolutely.
We believe that the police officer acted recklessly.
Recklessly.
Absolutely.
And that does lead directly to not a murder charge, but to possibly reckless homicide or involuntary manslaughter.
At least
As it
something.
should.
That was something
That
that
this
was
can stop.
He should not be sleeping in his bed at night, and my nephew is not.
he has been on paid administrative leave.
Hey,
That's not right.
That ain't nothing but a vacation for him and his family.
yeah.
Well,
She's grieving. My
he
family
has been
grieving.
working as a
Does
security
he have
guard at
kids?
Walmart. So be careful in Walmart, guys.
This Walmart.
Not this Walmart.
They just treat him.
Does he have kids himself? Is he a father?
What's his address? I'm serious.
I don't want anybody getting in trouble.
Release the body cam footage.
Today, this afternoon, or tomorrow.
Will it be open to the public or just the
They are going to release it to the press and to heavily redact it, which they will have to do. And so, but at least hopefully you will get some kind of feel for what I'm telling you. You know the story. We did see me and my family saw the entire video. Kiana is going to go the meeting after this to go and see the video. It will be the first time she's seen
My
it.
question to you, are you going to give her all the psychological help that she needs for this man?
Kiana is a pretty strong woman, and she's already gone out.
Very strong.
She's already gone out and gotten counseling.
How strong you got to be.
She needs help.
She deserves all the resources.
So what we want to do today, what we want to do today is ask that
I know you have
they
to be strong.
reconsider this decision.
That's right. They need to reconsider the prosecutor's
We need to
decision.
take a look at it and perhaps have the Attorney General take a look at it, which I'm going to be contacting
Yes.
the Attorney General. And we also are requesting formally that this shooter lose his job permanently.
That's right. Fire that officer. He should be banned from law enforcement for life.
So, right now, I think Kiana can say a few words and then we'll take a few questions if you have.
First of all, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Like I
Love
told
you.
everybody else,
Love you.
this is America's nephew. This is America's nephew. This can happen to anybody.
That's right.
It shouldn't be happening to anybody.
That's right.
They're supposed to be protecting and serving us, but who are they protecting and serving when they're taking us out?
That's right.
How can you say that there's not going to be any charges filed? How? How? Do you not have a mind? Use your noodle.
Now, why? Why are they not being charged?
I am outraged. I'm upset. I really want to do some stuff, but I can't. I know God's going to keep holding me down. He's going to make sure that he has his arm of protection around me, as
right.
he will for all of y'all.
Thank God for that.
This isn't the end. We're going to get our justice. I don't care how long it takes. We're going to get our justice. If I have to go all the way to the Supreme Court, listen, I'm going.
So can we start
Now,
a
the
petition
other
with the mayor and the police chief? Can we start that? Sure. Okay.
All you need is signatures.
More than 100 plus.
Get them signatures. Stand up. Enough is enough. It doesn't matter what color we are.
No.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
This whole town should have been standing out here right now, but they're not. They're not. Some got work. I don't fault you, but those who act like that they don't see and they don't hear, there comes a time when silence becomes betrayal. They tried to break me down. They tried to break me so hard, but they can't. Like a phoenix, I rise. How hard is it to kill a bull? How hard is it to kill a bull?
Hard.
It's very hard to kill a bull. And when the bull gets mad, they see red. I see red. Justice for Terrell. 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 Justice for Terrell.
Justice for Terrell. Justice for Terrell.
Before I open it up to questions, I do want to let you know that we are going to be seeking justice in the civil courts. There will be a lawsuit filed by the next week. And I want you to know all about that. It's hard sometimes to find justice in a civil courtroom, but it may be the only alternative open to us at this point. So, if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to take them now.
That's not acceptable.
What can we do? Well, she's going to read a list in a little bit, and then she'll give you some ideas. But things like this, it's very important to support Kiana publicly. When we do have press conferences, when we do have rallies, you don't know how much this helps to have your presence. Not only to let the public know, but also to remind Kiana that everybody is behind her. Everybody cares about Terrell. He is not forgotten, and he never will be.
Never will be.
Police are going to release the body cam video.
They have told me they're going to be releasing it, a heavily redacted version of it, either this afternoon or tomorrow.
So is this a recommendation by the appellate court,
It was a
or is it just
recommendation by the appellate court.
So there's no criminal action, or is that done?
Well, we're asking them to reconsider it. They have made the decision not to charge him.
So at what steps do the public have to take to let them know that even though Kiana deserves, rightfully so, a civil, but Terrell deserves criminal?
There's an online form through the Illinois State Police to report public corruption. We will be sharing that form on the Racial Justice Coalition's wall so that people can fill that out and report that police officer and ask that he be investigated for corruption. And
I said the entire police department, because from the beginning they lied, they wasn't transparent, they lied to her, they lied to everybody out here, and that shows the corruption. The mayor was also put on notice that one of his officers was going to kill somebody approximately 2 weeks before this happened. So all of these things are criminal that they're doing, from the mayor to the prosecutor to the city, to the police.
That's right.
Don't the prosecutor represent the citizen?
That's right.
Okay, so
And
the
if
police
the law
are
does
secondary.
not protect children, then the law is wrong and must be changed.
Well, we looking for some criminal against the police officer.
This town does not belong to the police. It belongs to you guys.
That's right.
We have to stand up.
We with you, Tiana. You can tell where you rock. We rock.
All right, everybody, please calm down. Calm down. Let's finish.
My name is Kaylee Shilton. I'm here for the Racial Justice Coalition with a list of demands. I'm nervous. We, the members of the Grassroots Racial Justice Coalition, demand the following remedies for protecting our black community members in Macomb. Officer Nick Gawk is to be fired and banned from public service for life. In police, racial profiling, over-policing, and manufactured pretext traffic stops. Mayor's whitewashing of complaints and hate incidents and his COINTELPRO tactics to thwart public awareness and accountability must end. Merriman is to step down. He has said nothing throughout this entire thing, and it is disgusting to have a mayor that is like that. We want immediate release of the body cam and car footage of the police response. Legislation requiring notification within 24 hours of any prosecutor's decision.
That's right.
I don't know if you are aware, but the police department was aware that charges would not be pressed long before we were made aware.
They didn't do it because Sonia Mackey.
That's right. They didn't.
Waiting to cover it up.
Investigation of city leadership for disinfo given, refusal to release body cams despite the promise that the fundraising for the body cams was so that community members could watchdog the police, and their fundraising promises are not being upheld.
That's right. That belongs to you, the people. You paid for those body cams.
Increase the amount of city insurance coverage of the police. A review of the special prosecutor's decision not to file charges. We request the Department of Justice and Illinois Attorney General to review this case. City Councilman Byron Odin Shabazz also is serving as a president of the NAACP, while also a city council person. There has to be a conflict of interest. An elected citizens police, fire, EMS review board so the mayor cannot stack his cronies on it. The city of Macomb and Macomb Police Department should release their insurance coverage maximum limit amount and increase it. We appeal to Governor Pritzker to intercede and delay the planned WIU layoffs, which have always decreased diversity and leadership, negatively affecting our community's cultural climate as liberal, diverse programs and people get targeted. Losing so many good jobs will further devastate local services and economic stability for people of color in our community.
Thank you, Sally Shelton. At this time, Peoria, Illinois Now stands with and validates every call of the Racial Justice Coalition. And we call on our members statewide and nationally to stand with the Racial Justice Coalition and our black folks in this community who need justice. We need to see more press that is not whitewashed. You might notice that you haven't seen any of the committees. We have watched Mayor Inman for years taking photo ops and using his few friends to block the voices of the people suffering underneath the injustice, oppression, systemic oppression. There is no excuse for this jail not to have a script policy. There is no excuse for them not to be keeping track of who they strip and why. This is not the first injustice, but it needs to be the last here. It needs to be the last to all matter. Black lives have to matter here too. Where is all the rest of the community? Where are the white clergy? Where are all those nonprofits that attended all those nonviolent workshops? Where's that committee that Mayor Inman stacked with his cronies and called it Moving the Community Forward? They are not here. They have not spoken. I remember and worked at a WIU for over 3 decades that actually used to believe in showing up in the community. Where is their leadership? Why aren't they speaking up? This shooting occurred yards from WIU's campus. They have a vested interest in a diverse, safe environment for their students. Why aren't they speaking up? Thank you so much for all the support. We are so sorry to be here today, but we are here with you and we will keep amplifying.
Thank everybody one more time for coming. Thank the press for coming, and we hope you just remember to just keep amplifying. Talk to everybody you know about it. Feel free to give me a call if you have any questions. Okay? Thank you very much.
Mom, thank you.